From the subreddit Shower Thoughts. Sweating probably felt great before we invented clothes. I wouldn't have said great, but surely it would be less uncomfortable. With a dry breeze. Oh yes. Hot humid breeze. Just kill me. Cold humid breeze. See above. As a regular nudist, no. Sweat, especially when dried up on the skin, always is sticky and itchy, and you always want to wash it off no matter the circumstances or the non-clothing. Did you somehow forget about still being sticky, wet, susceptible to temperature changes, and so on? Being naked doesn't solve any of these issues. Not really. I lived in the tropics for years and wore very few clothes. It's somehow less comfortable to swear with nothing to help wick the moisture away. IDK can't beat the feeling of peeling off sweaty clothes in some nice AC or before a shower. When we worked at farms, we would start early close to sunrise. There would be lots of work in the sun. When first sweat comes in the day, it's not pleasant, but during noon when wind blows, trust me, it's so relaxing on the sweaty body when it evaporates. But again, evenings make you kill for a good bath. I've been outside and sweating without a shirt, and that was still awful. You would still feel sticky and would smell terrible. I don't see what's so great about that. This being upvoted just confirms that 90% of Reddit has never done any physical activity shirtless outside. In dry and clean environment, it feels great to sweat without your shirt on. Otherwise, it just makes dirt and dust stick on you and you end up covered in disgusting mess in a few minutes. Sweat in my eyes playing football, soccer in just shorts though. Disagree. Being wet and sticky isn't fun after you're done doing whatever got you that way. Have you ever had sex? You get real sweaty and you're usually not in your clothes. It's gross. I lived in the deep humid South all my life. Sweating just makes your clothes cling to you and is very slow to cool you off. Me and some buddies of mine went to Denver, Colorado, and at first didn't know what we were experiencing was sweating. It felt like someone was misting me with a bottle of ice water that immediately evaporated on contact. Well, that's the whole point of sweating. It's your body's evolutionary way of cooling you off. The human body has too many folds, flaps, and crevices for sweating to be comfortable. If you've never sweated in a desert, you don't understand sweating. I live in the humid East and was amazed when hiking in AZ or in V how cool sweating keeps you when it's evaporating instantly. Downside, carry water bottles everywhere. That's why you wear very loose clothing that shields you from the sun. You stay cool from basically being in the shade, plus the breeze helps cool you, too. I have hyperhidrosis and one cannot stand not having clothes to absorb the sweat. Living before clothes were invented would have been a nightmare. I did 30 minutes on the stair stepper at the gym yesterday after working out, and let me tell you that 10 minutes in I was sweating profusely, and it felt great even with my gym clothes on. Finished with the gym, arm sweat felt great and cooling. Shirt and pants sweat, still feels great. The awesome thing about clothes. We can take MAWF. As a big, fat guy that sweats all the time, no, it's awful. Honestly, sweating without clothes on is much worse than sweating with clothes on, at least initially. Maybe, but I'd wager my nuts that the benefits of clothes outweigh the pleasure of bare-ass sweating. I'm really confused with all these people saying you forgot about being sticky and itchy. Here's my question to those people. What are you doing to make your sweat sticky and itchy? I regularly work out, so I sweat a lot. I may get a small itchy feeling because of clothes, but after sweat has dried up, I'm not sticky or itchy. You know you have the ability to be naked? Just because clothes are invented, you don't have to wear them permanently. Have you never been topless on a beach in very hot weather? It does not feel nice to have sweat dripping and trickling down your sides from your armpits. It's actually nicer when your t-shirt soaks it up and it evaporates off the t-shirt. We've had clothes for longer than evolution humaned us. So rethink that one. I grew up in North Texas. I lived in Arizona for a year. Everyone kept telling me how terrible the summers were. It was just as hot as North Texas but a fraction as humid. When you sweat, you don't get muggy. It just dries off and actually does the thing it needs to do to keep you cool. It has nothing to do with clothes, it has everything to do with climate. In this thread, lots of people who have never done manual labor in the heat and been required to wear a shirt. Since I started doing 500 calories of cardio every morning 13 years ago, no amount of sweating bothers me. Not if you have Grover's disease, and that ain't got nothing to with Sesame Street, my friend. You mean when people used to wear animal skins and tree barks or leaves? It's amazing to me that we never evolved not to sweat while wearing clothes. Until it starts making you itch because it's running down your body. I'd rather have a pair of skinny jeans on when it's hot and humid. Prevents japping and a heat rash in the places I don't want to have a heat rash. Not gonna lie, I work out at this gym that's basically in a sauna and can work out without a shirt and sweating feels somehow cleansing or something lol. I don't know how to describe it, but it actually feels like I'm getting a workout. No way. You ever had a bunch of leaves and grass and twigs and dirt stick to your moist body? Sweating feels great in arid climates. Florida not so much with or without clothes. I don't think so. Have you ever been sweaty on your face and head? Doesn't feel good. And as a guy that's been sweaty at the beach while not wearing a shirt, it still doesn't feel that good. You really need to explore nudity more. And yes, it can feel nice lol. No, not a nudist. Well, not outside my house anyway. Sweating is an excellent built-in mechanism humans have for cooling our bodies down in hot temperatures, as long as it's a dry heat. In humid areas, sweat just makes you sticky and miserable. It can't evaporate off your skin and into the air because the air is already so saturated with water. I don't mind heat and sweating, as long as it's a dry heat. Yes, but the aftermath is annoying. You're just sticky and dirty, and it's annoying. Plus you have this small layer of salt all over your skin. I wouldn't know, I can't really sweat at all. I just get incredibly itchy whenever I'm too warm, makes me want to scratch my skin off until I can splash cold water on my head and neck. And also probably before antiperspirant deodorant was invented. I love sweating. I love hot weather. I love the feeling of my skin getting hit by that hot sun. I was sitting in the sauna the other day, and the dude next to me was talking about how he dreads the sauna. For me it feels so fucking good. I could sit in it all day if it wouldn't kill me. I get out of the sauna, and it immediately alters my mood. It's great. But we were covered in hair, so I think we're better off now that we can easily change clothes. Sweating feels great when you're healthy and lively, and your tissue is filled out. Shirt or no shirt. Get out there and get some living done. We invented clothes because we probably got too cold from sweating out in the cold. Sweating isn't very common among other apes. I wonder if it came about because we lost our hair, and how much of losing our hair was related to climate change or other pressures? I don't know the answer to this question, but it's brought up some more interesting ones.